coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Hey guys, Galaxy today with another Skyblock video, and Hypixel introduced Skyblock levels. So if you're looking next to my name in tab, I've got I'm level 186, and this video is pretty much going over your probably the easiest ways to get Skyblock XP to hardest, from beginning from like early game to very late game. Obviously I'm not the highest level person possible, but yeah, the best passive way of getting XP would be collections, like just doing anything that involves getting collections, minions, etc. You'll be able to increase your Skyblock XP from that. Also leveling your skills like foraging, combat, etc. That'll be a decent way to also do that. Slayers is a fairly easy way to do it. Like even up to level 7 is a decent amount of XP. Even same with the catacombs to a certain extent, but it does take a lot more time. Same with the classes for dungeons. These are kind of tied together, but they do take longer than say your normal skills. Museum progression is definitely one of the harder ones, like the bank upgrade, Kuja to some extent, and some extent the hop songs too, and dojo. I'll get into the other ones later on. Dungeon boss the collection for dungeon bosses is fairly simple, but also time consuming. Fairy souls, very simple. Can probably do it probably within the first 6 to 12 hours of gameplay if you know what you're doing. Bestiary is passive like the collection, so if you want to just passively get that up, like while doing your skills, like doing the fishing festival, doing combat grinding, doing your dungeons, etc. Yeah, you can pretty much do that. Heart of the Mountain can be partly tied with skills, but it does require a bunch of prep to be able to make it easy. And plus it takes a bunch of time to get to a point where you can find yourself easy. It's like tier 3 Heart of the Mountain or something like that, where you can get efficient miner, where you can get whereas season mine efficient miner, so tier 4 Heart of the Mountain is where it becomes like really easy, but you can get a decent chunk of progression through 1, 2, 3. It just takes a lot longer by comparison, but you'll be getting it in tangent, in combination with your skill level ups for mining, because I'm pretty sure most people go to Dwarven Mines / Crystal Hollows to level up their mining, because it's a lot faster than relying on minions for that XP. Accessory Bag, somewhat passive, because the richer you are, the more you've played the game, the more money you'll have to buy the accessories. If not, you would have enough to be able to easily progress through the at least latter half of getting accessories. Pet score, something similar to the accessory bag. Usually the richer you are, the easier this is going to be, but you can do it all manually. Iron Man players can get it, no issue. Completing the quests is tedious and doesn't really provide too much XP. It's only 105 in total, so if you want to do it, you can. This one's, I see, is more optional, but you know, you can do it if you want. Commission milestones is partly passive with the harder. It's completely passive with Hard Mountain. If you're just doing your like 4 daily ones, when you're leveling up your Heart of the Mountain at minimum, because it will definitely help you with the Heart of the Mountain. Already went over collections. Minions, it's just playing the game really until like getting level 12 ones. Otherwise, from there it slows down quite a lot, and being rich also helps with the crafting the minions. The slaying dragons, like each of the type of dragons, superior, old, young, wise, etc. It's just RNG, and in a way, and I've got 6 out of the 7. Apparently haven't killed a superior dragon, even though I have several times, but I didn't spawn any of them, but I have killed superior, which is very frustrating that it wasn't counted. And then defeating slayers, Revs, Tarantula, Svens, and the first couple tiers of Void Gloom should be fairly easy for early parts of mid-game players, so that you should be able to do up to tier 4 Rev, Tarantula, and Sven fairly easily. Tier 2 Void Gloom, if not tier 3 Void Gloom. You would probably have to be more the later half of late game or end game to be able to do tier 4 Void Gloom or Inferno, so you can't just push this one out like straight away, like 100% it, but you will be able to at some point. Completing dungeons is like the dungeon tiers is kind of like with part of progression with the catacomb level up and class level up for dungeons, because usually you want to be playing M7 to be able to level up your dungeons level as fast as possible, so that, and you'll need to get at least one completion each master mode and normal catacombs when you get to be able to access M7. Kudra, anything burning, fiery, and infernal tiers of Kudra at the time of recording this video is not out yet, so we'll have to wait for that. But basic and hot should be possible at the time of recording. For even for basic tier, you can, as long as someone on your team has a Hyperion or similar, it should be fairly easy going. And sorry if you can hear chickens, don't pay attention to that. Arcane, I feel, is totally optional, 60 XP, but if you really want to 100% complete it, you can. Bank upgrades, anything above deluxe or super deluxe, I feel you'll pretty much have to wait until endgame to be able to afford any of it, not just the coin requirements to be able to do it, but also the items you need to be able to soulbound to your account. Dojo is interesting, but also is heavily dependent on ping. So myself with 240 ping isn't exactly the most ideal thing to get S on all the tasks, so I personally wouldn't be able to probably fully max this out, but at some point possibly, I don't know. Same with the harp songs, heavily ping reliant, and yeah, but can be definitely done. The trophy fish, on the other hand, will just take a bunch of time, and you can start getting some of the lower tier one, like bronze and silver ones, fairly easily, especially with like the gusher, blobfish, flying fish, and like anything that doesn't really require too much investment or like skill in a way, like you needing a minimum of 1200 mana for mana raise. Like you wouldn't be able to really do that at early game without actively trying to start your profile going for 1200 intellect to be able to complete this, I feel like. So it will just more time intrusive, like time intensive, I mean, but will be able to be done relatively easy if you just put in the time. So if you guys did enjoy me going telling you the easier to harder ways of getting your Skyblock experience, if you do care about it, personally I don't. It just pretty much shows you how far you've progressed in the game into a single integer, which is just a quality of life thing, I feel like, and also somewhat of a guide to help newer players. And because the game has changed so much since release back in 2019, and it pretty much gives you a way to go, what have I not done yet, and be able to see it in a simple GUI, with just hovering over a couple items. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, sub if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.